Okay, there were two things that I wanted to talk about today. I talked about them already today at the prison, but they're continuing to stay in my heart and mind. So maybe they're for me again, and I can rewatch this video, or maybe somebody's gonna see this or hear this and find some encouragement in it. So I was in a situation, I'm just gonna keep it very vague because the details of it will give the whole thing away. So anyway, basically in the situation, I was struggling with understanding why I was not being valued in this certain situation. And so it kind of just started to bother me. And then I was also just starting to realize that some specific people were unable to see that I was valuable. And I mean, I know that I'm valuable. I mean, value is determined by the price that someone is willing to pay for whatever that thing is. And I mean, clearly God gave his only son for me, so I know that I'm valuable. Like, I'm not questioning my value. But what I was really inquiring as I was talking to God about this was like, Lord, why am I not valuable in this situation to this specific person? And I'm not even kidding. Suddenly, he is the God of suddenly. Within a moment's time, I could see in scripture how the Lord had said, do not lay your pearls before swine. So I was just thinking about this for a minute, about a pearl and its value, and a pig not having the capacity to understand the value of the pearl. And it was literally like that was my answer. It's not that I'm not valuable or you're not valuable or we don't bring value to the table, but could it be that the person that we're interacting with is so spiritually disconnected that they don't have eyes to see our value? And I was like, wow, that's lit. God, thank you for that. I needed that. So that was the first thing. And then the second thing was, don't mind me, don't mind me, I keep getting cut off. That's cool. But the second thing was, I had gotten this ticket, and I already know, I follow Romans 13. There's going to be a specific person on here that's going to love that I'm sharing this, because I always say to them, like, are you submitting to your authority? Blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I do submit to my governing authorities, but I just so happened to drive by a police officer while I had my phone in my hand, which we all do. So anyway, I get pulled over, it gives me a ticket, blah, blah, blah. So I'm supposed to show up in court today. I have a fine that I have to pay, and I have points that are going to go on my license. And I'm just like, Lord, I don't have time for this. Like, I really just need you to do something about this. So anyway, I keep calling the court because the officer was like, see that number? And he circled it, like, see that number right there? I'm like, yeah, I see it. So anyway, I'm calling it, and they're like, Miss Sullivan, we have no recollection of anything you're talking about. Like, it's not in our system. So I'm like calling day after day after day after day, literally, and they cannot find this information in their system. And so I'm like scheduled to be in court today at the same time that I'm scheduled to be at the prison and teaching my Bible study. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to show up at the court. Like, what's the worst they can do? I just show up. It's not my time to be here, but can somebody help me? So I show up, and they're like, this isn't your time to be at court. I'm like, yeah, I know, but can you help me? So this random woman who is so nice, and I believe was all the favor of God, she literally takes my ticket, and she's like, there is absolutely nothing in our system with your name on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to court for you. I'm like, what? She's like, I'm going to just go to court for you at 1 o'clock since you have to be in Cleveland. She was like, and if the evidence isn't Like, and if the evidence isn't in our system by then we're going to dismiss it and waive everything. So that's exactly what happened. And like, I have no idea how that happened. But I was thinking about how if God can do that for me, he can do that for you. He's no respecter of persons. So if God can remove legal paperwork and waive all my fines and my points, he can do the same for you.